Hello everyone. Welcome to OMG, another film list, where we compile lists of movies conforming to best of titles, genres, styles, historical periods, directors, actors, etc., etc. Here is installment number 3 of 5 in a review of 20 notable science fiction films, starting with Metropolis in 1927 and moving forward to, but not including, 2001: A Space Odyssey. A second list of 20 will cover that landmark film and those produced up to the present day. There are 4 titles in this presentation, once again, all from the 1950s, a watershed decade for science fiction movies.
Could be the beginning of the end for the human race. For what men first thought were meteors or the often ridiculed flying saucers are in reality the flaming vanguard of the invasion from Mars.
Looks like they're going to come out of that gully pretty soon. We'll have to rush our defenses to be ready when they do.
We're going to need plenty of reinforcements.
We'll get them. Lieutenant, look!
They slash across country like scythes, wiping out everything that's trying to get away from them.
That explains why communication is cut the moment their machines begin moving.
Montreal's blacked out. Nothing more's come through.
Same thing that happened on the Pacific coast. Anything from them yet?
No, Mr. Secretary. We've had nothing from San Francisco for over 5 hours.
The nations of the world mobilize their armed might, rushing to defend the Earth against the unknown weapons of the super race from the Red Planet. Is there nothing that can stop the Martian death machines?
Guns, tanks, bombs, they're like toys against them.
We know now that we can't beat their machines. We've got to beat them.
All over the world, human beings cower before the onslaught of these unearthly enemies, whom no one has ever seen. Panic that sweeps around the globe as the great masses of mankind flee blindly in a headlong stampede of hysteria.
This 1953 version of War of the Worlds was the first adaptation of the classic alien invasion novel by H.G. Wells, updated from Victorian England outside London to Los Angeles, California half a century later. The changes in technology and weaponry upped the death and damage quotient into the modern realm, even introducing the use of nuclear weapons. The 2005 remake by Steven Spielberg reverts to Wells' tripod configuration of the Martian war machines, but sticks with the invaders' defeat and demise by exposure to earthly bacteria. Here once again we have something that might have worked for a 1950s audience, but does not hold up very well today.
Yes, it came from outer space to fill the world with terror, to bring you unforgettable suspense. Was it? Where did it come from? Who were the all-powerful creatures it brought from outer space? And what did they want on Earth? You can learn the amazing answer only when you see the most thrilling picture in years. It came from outer space. In the astonishing realism of 3 dimension, with objects coming right out of the screen, so real they almost touch you.
Once again, Richard Carlson steps into the role of a scientist. This time he's looked upon as a bit of an oddball by his neighbors in a small Arizona town. They think he's gone completely off his rocker when he claims that an alien spaceship lies in a crater carved by a meteor crashing into the desert the night before. The aliens here are not invaders, but are on Earth due to technical failure and are simply trying to leave. A race against time takes place, giving them time to repair their craft and escape a fearful local mob closing in with guns. Jack Arnold directs his first of 5 sci-fi films for Universal, and the 3D is great.
I say there are things better left unsolved.
Who knows what waits for us in nature's no man's land?
Impossible, unbelievable, fantastic. But I tell you, it could happen. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
Yes, it could happen. For various authorities believe that buried somewhere under the polar ice cap, in a state of suspended animation, are the awesome creatures, the leviathans that roamed the earth at the dawn of time. And under certain conditions, a nuclear explosion could free one from his icy tomb. Then, guided by instinct, the beast would come back to the caverns of the deepest Atlantic where it was spawned. An armored giant, wreaking his prehistoric fury on modern man and his puny machines. Cities would be terrorized by the cruel intruder from the past. Populations crazed and panicked with fear by its destructive force. Granite and steel would crumble. Soldiers and their weapons would be powerless before the onslaught of the beast. The beast. The beast. The beast from 20,000 fathoms.
Herald Square, 34th Street, Broadway. Every section of the city is guarded. No one knows where the monster will strike next.
Another one, Colonel?
No. You know what the radioactive isotope is?
No, but if it can be loaded, I can fire it.
I'll load it. Just remember one thing. This is the only isotope of its kind this side of Oak Ridge, so you can't miss.
The beast from 20,000 fathoms is not the first giant dinosaur on film. Winsor McCay's 1914 animation short, Gertie the Dinosaur, and the 1925 fantasy adventure The Lost World are both from the silent era. King Kong in 1933 is packed with a whole variety of thunder lizards. All of these films were created with the stop-motion animation, but the real star of the technique was to be Ray Harryhausen. This 1953 production of The Beast was his first solo credit as creator of the special effects that brought the beast to life. From then on, he was the default king of that method for the next 3 decades. Much of his continuing work was in the fantasy genre.
I tell you, gentlemen, science has agreed that unless something is done and done quickly, man as the dominant species of life on Earth will be extinct within a year.
direction of the President of the United States, stay in your homes. I repeat, stay in your homes. Your personal safety, the safety of the entire city, depends upon your full cooperation with the military authorities.
Yes, cities, nations, even civilization itself, threatened with annihilation, because in one moment of history-making violence, nature, mad, rampant, wrought its most awesome creation. For born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust were things so horrible, so terrifying, so hideous. There is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true, and there shall be destruction and darkness come up in creation, and the beast shall reign over the earth.
Them is probably the best big bug movie of the 1950s. The culprit is radiation caused by atomic weapons testing in the southwestern deserts of the United States, creating an army of giant ants. James Arness is once again in the mix, this time as the hero, and not the alien threat he was a few years earlier in The Thing from Another World. The storytelling is tight, with just the right amount of scientific explanation about the effects of radiation and the habits and hierarchies of ant colonies to make it seem somehow plausible. It all ends in the sewers of Los Angeles in a barrage of flamethrowers and gunfire, rendering the world safe once again. This one is well worth watching. I hope you enjoyed that selection. With these 4 titles, we are still firmly anchored in the classic science fiction decade of the 1950s. The universal monsters of the 30s and 40s are usually categorized as horror, so those will be saved for a future list. This week's selection dealt with alien visitation and monsters created by atomic weaponry. These are themes that will dominate for the remainder of the 1950s decade. Please like, subscribe, and most importantly, leave a comment. I will answer everyone. Suggestions and criticism are welcome. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.